You know how I feel. 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 Ooh, ooh, ooh. You know how I feel. You know how I feel. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You know how I feel. You know how I feel.
Test.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. You know how I feel. You know how I feel. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Test. Okay, here we go. Okay. You can't see me, but everything is going to plan. There we go. Okay, sweet. All right. Let me get a couple of things tweaked here. Okay, so sorry, y'all. I hate that it's 7:11 already, and I'm sorry about that. We haven't had this late a start in a while. I get carried away, and I just have so much to set up. And sometimes, like, one little thing will go wrong, or one new little thing I'm trying will backfire right at the beginning, and it throws me off. A lot of times, Tara, who's just about to join us, she's the the one that's always in the corner there. She's in the blank spot. She's taking an online yoga study class right now, so she's just about to join us any second. But sometimes she can help me set up really fast. So if the camera angles look a little wonky tonight or whatever, I'm sorry about that. So this is a request for Rhonda. I think she's watching. I'm getting the sense that she claimed it online that she doesn't mind. Oh, and hey, everybody. Hey, Katie, Angel, Jennifer, Casey. As far as somebody asked about donating, I really appreciate that. There will be, if you make it all the way to the end of class, or if you watch it on replay, you can skip to the end. There's a link in the closing screen that will have, actually I could sort of show you that now. Yeah, there's a list of the different ways that you can contribute if you want to, and there's loads of ways that you can contribute that if money is tight. Money is very meaningful, but I just like to not make a big deal about it, because sometimes we just get broke, and I wouldn't want the last thing I'd want is for anyone to feel guilty, about watching my stream for free, because I know that the people that can do donate, and that's what's keeping this going. And I know when it comes back around that if you're still watching, you'll donate. And so, but if the ways that you can contribute non-financially are sharing it, liking it. It's social media, it just works on an algorithm. The more people that like it, the more people that comment about it, the more Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch all think it's important. So, hey, Amber's here, sweet. Okay, so because we're getting a late start, I'm gonna jump straight into this. Rhonda requested this class, this is how I interpreted her request, I'll put it that way. And what she had written about, and if I'm remembering wrong, Rhonda, you can chime in here, but was supposed to be like, anger management, stress management, a class that sort of, addresses those. And for me, these are all flow-based things. And so tonight what we're going to do are a series of exercises, different types of exercises that I have found over the years and shared with my students, most of them anyway, most of the exercises, that we found stress relieving. And so I want to make sure that you understand that I have zero psychological training. And so I am not in any way claiming that these are, tried and true stress relievers that, people would super endorse. But they, to me, I have done a little bit of study, and it seems that everybody thinks that exercise helps with stress. As I mentioned last week, I just want to say again, and I'll make it a super quick, if you haven't read Robert Sapolsky or watched him on YouTube or something like that, all of his lectures from Stanford you can go watch. And he's done a lot of work studying other animals and their stress responses and comparing that to the human-animal stress response. And without screwing up his work, essentially what he and his team have found is that, we evolved with a stress response, so that when we think that we're in mortal danger, that to get out of that danger, to make the body as efficient as it can for escape, it shuts down other things, right? And so some of the things it shuts down are related to your immune system and to healing, essentially, like physical healing, and I'm sure that includes all the other things. And so what happens is that instead of just encountering one lion a year or one lion a week, we live in a world full of lions to us. Everything is this life-threatening ordeal, and it's it could be anything, and it happens to all of us. And these poor teenagers now that are growing up in social media, man, I feel so sorry for them because their lines that really, really feel so scary to them are just whether or not a picture gets likes. Whether or not that their algorithm worked out and some of their friends saw it and liked it. And so it's important for us to move and, maybe use that movement as meditation to relax and realize these things they're bad, but they're not going to kill us. We don't need to shut down our healing to get away from losing our job. We don't need to shut down our healing because we're not sure we can stay in our house. We can understand those things and focus on those issues, but we don't want to think that they're like a lion that's about to rip our throats apart. So big breath in, see through and what's the real lion, and some of you may be dealing with real lions. I don't want to diminish that. But some of us, myself included, have made kittens into lions, to be quite honest. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. So it might be a little distracting when Tara enters in, but she's been studying yoga, and it just runs a little bit late into class. tonight we are going to... Oh, hey, Karen. And Vaughn. Oh, sweet. Okay, cool. I'm glad. I hope I didn't spend too much time on that, but I do want to set up the class. But this is a flow class, and I'll explain exactly what that means in just a second. Now, I'll be honest with you, everything is set up on me having another student, so this sway until Tara can join us is going to feel a little weird visually, but everything's cool in the gang. She'll be here in a second. All right. Okay, if you're joining me for the first time, what we're doing now is called sway. And sway is free form movement. And it doesn't mean that there can't be a form, it just means that you're open to do whatever you want. And this is our first anti-stressor. Because if there's one thing that's true about our feeling of stress, is that it's constrictive. No one feels expansive and open when stressed. And I believe that even when our mind is trapped, we try to free the body. We say to it, it can move any way it wants. It can show the mind how it wants to move. You can stretch, you can roll on the ground. To sway means to start listening. But not listening to your worry, but listening to your hands and what feels good. Audible breath in. Open. Is it really a lion? Is that thing causing you stress really, actually going to kill you? And if it's not, then what kind of perspective can you have on it that will help your body green light healing again, and green light deep breathing again, and green light optimism again? Audible breath in. If you can't stop thinking about what's worrying you or you're stressed, then focus. Use your focus as a tool. What I mean by that is focus on the movement of your hands if you're having trouble. Just breathe and focus on the movement of your hands. Open. Audible breath in. Sweet. Okay. I was hoping that you guys would get that joke. Okay, I thought that song was over, but it kind of does a fake. All right. Okay. All right. Tara's here, everybody, and so is Rex. Just, I'll give you guys a little, I'll tell you guys a little secret that behind the scenes, Rex is not a huge fan of my sways. They seem to. I don't know if it's the mic, because I do have to have it amplified in here, so I don't go muted on you guys, so I can hear it. I don't know if it's too loud. I don't think it's too loud for it, but I think he just doesn't know where Pubba is. Yeah, maybe it just feels the energy. Animals are so empathic. Okay, okay, so stress relief. And this is going to sort of tie into what we did last week. But we're not, last week we did a whole class on standing point. And tonight we're going to just do a little class, a little stress relief of hanging point. So standing point would be like balance or like wheelies or whatever. And then hanging point, of course, is when the hoop is just hanging here. And what we're going to play with tonight is just gentle, breezy turning. It's going to be a chance to sort of review what we did the other week, but it's also going to give you a chance to just be in this stressless place. So what hanging point would mean is just any time that the hoop is sort of hanging from a point of contact. Now I'm using the back of my hand right now, but I could use my shoulder or whatever. And then the one thing that hanging point can do is fly. Okay? And so this would be, flying, I went down this YouTube rabbit hole of all these videos of parents GoProing with this, spinning their kids like this. You should look it up. It's hilarious. Let's just start the music. Not sure what I'm saying. I'll give you sort of a demo of ways that you can sort of try to feel what I'm talking about. I'll take off my slides for those. These are hanging point stalls, hanging point stalls. This is me inside of the circle. This is me outside of it. And if you're the sort that gets dizzy, you cannot spin at all, and you can just send swings up and down. Now for you to feel the stress reducing qualities of this, I have to kind of shut up. But you're going to turn and try to open up your hands to the feeling of the air passing through your fingers, or just the feeling of the air in the room from either one or both of your hands. And I promise you, it will change the way that you hoop. The whole time you keep your breathing with you. Hanging point is also, thank you. Hanging point is also to be on the core, and if you're advanced, you can sort of turn these into flights as well, just turning fast enough and eventually the hoop will take flight. And if you want to put it back to sleep, I just turn, sort of slow down. Maybe a little chin break. God, I really like that song. I haven't heard it in a while. Okay. So, hopefully we're still alive. Usually when I'm not getting a lot of comments, it means people are digging it or not here. 1 second. Okay. All right. So, for our next stress reliever, okay, especially for anyone that does works, data entry or types a lot or whatever, massage work, any kind of work with your hands. You in particular, this might be more for, but some of the stress there we go. Some of the stress that we feel, it stays and lingers. Like the moment we feel relaxed and we're back to normal, there's no more lions, that muscle can still be tight. And so what we're going to do right now, just for a couple of minutes, or maybe a minute or two, is we're actually going to do stress relief through massage. But the hoop will be doing the massage. And there are 2 massages that you can feel. So right now I'm rolling the hoop, and for me, it's rolling to my right. Not that that matters. I can reverse that, and that was called a swing break. If you don't know how to do it, you can just grip it and reverse it. And then I go the other way, right? And I will feel a different sort of massage, right? Even as balanced as I want to be, I'll feel a different massage. Then when my arm starts to get tired, I'm just going to switch again. Now, if you haven't done this before, what can make this really fun as part of your massage is to use your core bounce with it, right? And so that you're not just like arming it to death, but that you've got kind of like a rhythm and a bounce to it. We're just going to do about a minute of this, maybe. This is old school. I remember the first time I heard this a million years ago, and I thought this was, if you had a really good mood and you put it into a song, this would be it right here. Okay, so what I want you to do is, I'll show you from the side just to make sure we're all clear. You're using the hoop right now just to massage the muscles of your arm, right? To massage like the top or the side or underneath it, right? Meanwhile, you're using your legs to sort of help the arm relax, right? And then when I get tired, I can toss it over to this other side, or I can just drop a hand in, right? And then as I am just getting my massage on, right, just nice and relaxed, my body is starting to learn how to keep a plane here, to keep a consistent plane there, and I'm sort of using the monitor, but I'm doing a reasonable job of keeping a plane there. Because if I know that the plane is there, then if I'm a beginner, I can start to do some of those cool behind the back moves and things like that, because I'm teaching my body, oh, this spinning thing is right here, right? So if I want to put it behind my back, my body knows, well, I got to reach all the way back there, right? There's no secret to it. I'm going to have to reach back there and get that plane, right? It's like the body's learning where this plane is. Now, of course, if there's no rules here, you can massage the hands. We're doing it on the hand is what works. Go for it. But what we're going for here is vertical rolling and using it as a way to massage the arms but open the body, right? Like let some of that energy come out. For you beginners out there, a swing break is when you swing the hoop out, stop it, it'll sort of slide on your arm, maybe, and then you whip it back into shape, right? That was a swing break there, swing break there. And so it's just a cool way, kind of a fancy way to change currents. That's a swing point break. These are sort of swing isos. So all that stuff can come out of this roll. Boom. And I encourage you, really try it in both currents. If nothing else, it feels good on your arms. You know, one of the things that I learned by doing this exercise was that I was not as able to move my elbow up this way. It still feels more cramped this way. And I never knew that. It's definitely not the same over here until I started to just really play with this motion through my whole range of motion, through the, right? Of course, I'm starting to add a spin or anti-spin or whatever, but she was also a dancer for a while, so. Okay. Oh, wow. All right, we went a little bit longer with that one than I thought we would. Okay, so we'll take let's see, do we need to take an arm break? Yeah, let's take an arm break. Okay. All right, so we're going to move to the waist. This is going to be kind of a jump in these flow classes. There's not a lot of instruction, but there's just sort of, we're going to jump from one thing or the other. If your guys are still here, I hope you're still here. All right, let me. Okay, well, that's not what I want. Okay. Okay, we're going to go ahead and move on to the core. You know what? We'll try something. Okay, I think we're live. Okay, here we go. All right, on the waist. So I'm at a party. I'm about 19 or 20 years old. And they're playing this kind of house music, and all my dance experience had been to like Prince, had been to like Prince and hip hop, and I'm hearing house music, and I'm like, how the hell do you move to this? And she told me something. She was like 19 too, and we're at a rave, and she was like, you just don't have to fit into tight places. You can just. That's all she said. You can just. And that's kind of a good thing when we think about stress sometimes, right? Like, we don't have to always fit into tight places. We can just. So I'm going to lay off the mic, and we're going to core hoop, and we're just going to. if your core is just being, heightened, right? There's all these like neural pathways just sort of moving around and around and around you right now. There's contact on your back that runs onto your front. For sure. For sure. I'll put it this way, everything that I learned that I remember from college, I learned at raves.
Don't walk around here like mad. Little dog, high heels in the bag. Take a pill by the service racks. $50,000 champagne tax. I was DJing in the moment.
Anyway, just let your body bounce and just let your body move to this.
Dance, two shoes move. See you like honey do what it do.
However it likes to do it.
Look like something I can make it do. Be a spoon, by doom. By spoon, with a spoon. Sonic boom, monsoon. Guitar string, boom, two, brand new pickup shot. Slow like stew in the crock pot. Not pop, not rock, not hip hop. Got enough
For you beginners out there, I cannot recommend enough getting your hands high. Of course, it's the worst angle to see this, but getting your hands high, teaching, especially if you like off-body stuff, you'll get it quicker if you develop a full range of motion, even while core hooping, right? So like right now, my elbows are kind of high as I'm, now you could be anywhere, but my elbows, I'm on the waist, and my elbows are kind of high. The thing about it is, everybody has different reasons for getting into hooping. Most people don't get into it to lose weight, but why not? If you're having fun, you can also use it to get in shape. Of course you can. And one of the ways you can up the fitness level of what you're doing is like things like moving your hands around, right? There's much more efficient ways to get into exercise, but there's not that many more fun ways, right? All right. Okay, I hope you guys are, I hope you're still with me. Oh, let me bring it back on. Sorry, I just hit I know it says free hoop. That wasn't actually our free hoop. That was just so that the cameras could move around. All right, so we're going to move into something a little bit more different. One second. Okay. All right. We're about to enter into maybe a controversial topic, but we're not going to stay here for very long. Well, let me just put it this way. I think that for whatever reason, in some of us, there's just this almost like nuclear, reactive, very powerful energy that can sometimes spill out. And it can like spill out into a temper or sarcasm or something stupid. And it's not like we don't like it about ourselves, because it's the same energy that we use to protect our cubs. And my belief is that, sometimes if there's not like, if we're no longer slaying animals, that we have to find a way to get rid of that energy. Or not get rid of it, but to vent it, to let it breathe a little bit, so that we don't use it at the wrong time, at the wrong place. And so for me, sometimes there are certain movements or things that seem to have this kind of aggression to them that I can be in with the hoop, like breaks and paddles or something like that, where I'm not hurting anyone, and yet I'm sort of releasing whatever this is that protects but can also sometimes misfire. I'm giving it a road out. All right, so let's try that and see how that goes. essentially, I am saying that I'm giving you permission to just let whatever aggression is there out. And if there's none, then just have a fun song. Make sure y'all are feeling me on this. It's not about anger. It might fuel anger, but it's an energy. And ultimately, it's protective. Okay. All right, 1 second, guys. You can grab some. Okay. I am back, and let's see. Here we go. Okay, there I am. All right, so we're going to do something that is going to seem probably super weird, but this kind of works sometimes, and I want to try it with you guys now because it is definitely a stress reducer. So right now, if my experience My experience of me right now is I am super activated and I am like feeling I'm in my body, my left hand, my right hand feels good, and so it's the perfect time while my body is warmed up to either learn or work on something. And we're going to totally switch the vibe from everything we were just doing to balance. And I want you to try for the next 4 minutes while you're in this place to work on balance, any kind of balance. If you can't balance the hoop, you could balance you. Because I have a belief that if you are like any number of students I've had, when we go from this super active, everything's raging state, I don't know where science stands on this now. But I know for me, as a kid born in the 70s, that when I learned about ADHD, it was called ADD at first in my circle, and I learned about all of its different nuances. It helped me identify some of the stress that I had been feeling. When I read that ADHD people, for instance, didn't like to go to new places and they weren't natural travelers, I started to understand my whole anxiety. Because even though I had never given it a name, unknown places were stressful for me. Having to navigate a town I'd never been in was frightening because of all the lions I saw there. Balance taught me focus, and focus is how I dealt with some of these characteristics of something I may or may not have, but I find useful anyway. Balance taught me the purpose of focus. It's to pull away from the monkey mind. It's not to trap your mind, it's to pull it away from monkey mind. It's not putting you into a cell, it's opening the gate to that cell so that you can get out of whatever room of thinking you're stuck in and just focus on holding a hoop upside down on the back of your hand. Focus where I'm looking. There's nothing more important right now than this focal point that I am seeing and gripping with my eyes. Audible breath in. That's right. Actually, we didn't do a blindfold, but we kind of did. Okay, all right. If you had any kind of success with that, let me know in the comments, either in live or in replay. And I think we should probably just free hoop since we just have a little bit, and this is more of a flow class anyway. Rhonda, I don't know if you're still watching, but I hope that, yeah, you are. Thank you for making this request, and just to everybody, live or replay, your requests really help fuel this thing and help us come up with new ideas and just really respond. And so just thank you. I really feel like we have a little community here. If you're joining us once a month or whatever, we love it when you say hi. All right, so we're just going to move into some free hoop songs, and thank you guys for joining me. I think we're already probably kicked off of Facebook by now, so I'm going to play some songs that I'm pretty sure will get us kicked off. And I'm digging this old school vibe today, so we're going to just stay with some old school songs. There she is. Thank you. Thanks for the suggestion. I know that you'll be dipping out. I really appreciate everybody joining us. Thank you. Apologies again for the late start. That won't happen again. For those of you that are still here, this is definitely going to get us kicked off Facebook, but this next song, this will be our last song. This is my favorite stress, chill out song, so stress reliever. So this will be it. Maybe I'll play something sort of ambient afterwards as we fade out.
Hey, wake up. Gunshots in the city, hustlers on the corner gon' get more busy. Gunshots, young stunner got caught up. Clock big numbers, too bad, got slaughtered. Stunt now, you gon' pay later. Big booty girl, that's a black man savior. Serving, hit the block and we pervin'. Roll real slow in the cut like a surgeon. Turf chick, smurfette, give you work quick. Get caught slippin', get sick, is it worth it? Hell nah, but the jaw feel timeless. Got a good girl in my eyes, she the flyest. Can't sleep, streets stay heated. Ghetto kinda soul, I know you see it. Post it, when my cousin's getting toasted. Got a big beat so fat you can smoke it, smoke it, smoke it.
Rhonda, best of luck. Angel, thanks for swinging by. Jennifer, always.
Don't lose your head. 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 Don't lose your head.
Little homie, what you gonna do with your life? You wanna hustle, but you ain't doing it right. Thug to the end, just don't know why. Even if you're wrong, you know I'm gonna ride in the streets with the killers and the creeps. You don't wanna learn, but I still wanna teach. I told you, lace them beats, cause all you ever do is just chase them freaks. Little town girl, never been around the world. Gave her that pill, now you're licking on a pearl. I be right out, keep them all psyched out. In the back room, fucking with the lights out. Don't do it.
Don't lose. Don't lose. Don't lose your head. 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 Don't lose your head.
Hey, skyscrapers, high from the vapors. See us drive by, 808's gon' shake us. Earthquakers, shitting on the Richter. Party at the crib, bring a friend and a sister. Cruise by, homie, do sample live. DUST in the back, let's ride. Dipped in the caddy, stunting like my daddy. Slouch real low, buzz fall out the baggy. Yoke in a circle, pulling on purple. Flow to the show, although no rehearsal. Got stressed, but I let that rest. D-boys get annoyed, leave a void in your chest. Yes, all bad when you act too good. Roll with the punches, I think you should. Get smart, we'd rather go dumb. Big bass in the face, make your brain go numb.
Don't lose. Don't lose. Don't lose your head. 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 Don't lose your head.
Okay, thank you everybody. We're gonna fade to green now. You can wave goodbye there, T. Sweet. Okay, thank you guys. Have a great night.